Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of this NCISAA Division II state championship. Davidson Day got off to a quick start. They lead it 14-0. But, Coach, you got to consider that Southlake Christian could be down by more than 2 scores. What kind of adjustments do you think they can make in the second half?
Well, I think they need to understand they had opportunities and they did not execute them. But I'll tell you what's crystal clear right here. I'm sure Coach McLaughlin said, hey, listen, we get the second half kickoff. We need to put together a good, solid drive, put the ball in the end zone, knock the score in half, and put us back in the game. So let's see if they put together and go back to what they do really well, the running game with Robert Washington at the helm. Remember, this ball's on the ground, so it's going to be squib. So all 11 have to be prepared for this ball.
Chase Monroe's going to kick it short, and the ball bangs around, but Southlake Christian gets hands on it. They'll have it from the 45-yard line as Bailey Jones, the freshman, made a nice play on the football.
You know, you can do that when you got a really good defense and you can give the ball to the offense way up there, and I felt like that was going to happen. But let's see what Southlake do. Let's see what they draw up here in the second half. See if they get old Jalen Nash back there in front of Robert and start throwing the ball down the gut a little bit.
It looks like Sam Hartman is going to start the second half. The freshman at the quarterback position will hand it off to Washington. Flags on the play.
Not a good start. Illegal procedure, I believe. What's the call here?
Number 7, Sam Hartman at the center. Multiple flags.
Yeah, right. Got one in the defensive backfield. You know, wipe one off. And they got one secondary. I think they're going to play it again. Let's see if they replay it down. Let's see what they do here since they had 2 flags. They're going to call it second down. I think they're going to replay it. Well, they better reset the ball. It's not set right. They got to reset. They got to back it up.
Looks like they picked up both the flags, Coach. So
maybe they were just getting their arms loose. One looked like it was on the defensive backfield. It looked like they were counting players. They're looking at it. So they're calling it second down and 9. They're going to call the play. Okay.
So gain of a yard on the play for Southlake Christian. Again, Hartman will hand it off to Washington. They'll cut it up the field, but he'll be lucky to cross the 45-yard line. Looks like he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
You know, Paul, I'm watching Davidson Day's front. They're a little bit undersized compared to Southlake's offense. And basically their technique is to take them on and kind of scurry down the line. They're not trying to over-penetrate in a run situation. That allows them to get to the ball carrier. So they're not trying to over-penetrate, take care of their fits and their responsibility, and playing well east to west. Got a 3rd and about 9 here. Quarterback.
On 3rd down, Hartman asked to throw, and he's sacked. Back at the 38-yard line. Davidson Day's defense celebrating. Garrett Gruhl in on the play, as is Dustin Tyler. And it's tough for a freshman quarterback to be asked to throw on 3rd and long with no time whatsoever.
Not a good opening series. That's not what Southlake probably drew up at halftime.
So Solinsky will punt it from the 25-yard line. 2 back for Davidson Day. Well kicked down to the 32-yard line. Strahan is tackled pretty much where he takes the football. So Davidson Day will start back on offense. Less than 2 minutes off the clock here in the second half. And Davidson Day can get back to work offensively with that 2-score lead.
Guess who made that tackle on that punt return? Number 15, Mr. Brzezinski.
No surprise.
There you go.
So Wyszynski has been active all night long for Southlake Christian. And again, the defense is going to have to come up big.
So let's see what Davidson Day comes up in the second half, see if they do anything different. They're in that 3-by-1 formation, 1 back in the backfield.
DeGioia lets it go. It's picked off.
Picked off.
And a chance for Eric Gallman, but he's tripped up.
Paul, Southlake gets a snap of the ball because they're such a throwing team. They're just dropping coverage quick. So it's hard to get over top of them. And it's a good reaction. He tried to throw that ball on the seam and missed it. It's a good reaction.
Golan jumped that one, made the great play on the football. Just couldn't run away from that arm tackle.
Thought he had a seam. He could get to the end zone, but they got him on the ground.
1st and 10 from the Davidson Day 30-yard line. A handoff goes to Washington running right.
Fumble.
Ball got loose at the 25-yard line, and it looks like, initially I thought they may be handing that to Davidson Day, but it looks like Southlake Christian is going to keep possession of the football.
Let me tell you, I like that set. They had Brzezinski in there behind Nash, and they gave the ball to Washington. And once again, that's the kind of the old power eye backfield, a wishbone look. And they just pounded up in there. You know, he ran it up in there for 7 yards. Got to hang on the ball. Remember I told you earlier, I wasn't crazy the way he was hanging that ball at you. He's got a ball secure that thing. They're pulling at it and tugging at it. So looks like we got a break in the action. We have an injury?
Yeah, an injury to a Davidson Day player. And a big crowd around him, so I can't tell you right now who the injured player is. We take a look at the Southlake Christian sideline. We're told that Glenn Coates is the injured player, and that will be a huge loss for Davidson Day if he is going to be out of this game. Right now it looks like it could be a knee injury. And Coach, with kind of a tense reaction from the Davidson Day crowd as we look around here at Northside Christian. A great crowd is on hand for this football game. And
it's kind of unique. They've taken the whole team out there and all the personnel and kneeling around Coates. You know, I guess maybe what they do when somebody gets injured, hoping for the best that he gets up and gets back to the sideline. Got trainers and coaches and managers and players and everybody out on the 25-yard line wrapped around Coates as they tend to him, probably the sports medicine people. Which, by the way, we always want to remember on football teams, the people behind the scenes, the manager, the stats, people who do your sports medicine, take care of the health and well-being, the people who work the press box, people who operate the fields. You know, over at Ravenscroft, when I'm playing, I have to be very thankful to people taking tickets, running the concession stand, doing security. These are people that do thankless jobs, but you got to thank them all for what they do to make things work smoothly.
And a good reminder to thank Northside Christian as they host this game on a neutral site for these two teams. You see Coates being helped off the sideline. Not putting too much weight on that leg.
Again, they got that three-man backfield. Took a helmet to the knee. Looks like a plant injury. Sometimes you hate to see those plant injuries because they could be worse than anything. Hopefully it's nothing too severe. Sometimes you go the wrong way and something doesn't work out for you.
So Coates is on the sideline. He's on the bench.
3rd and about 5 here. 2-play territory. Let's see if they can pick up 3, 4, 5 yards here and give themselves a chance to get in the end zone. Davidson Day is kind of in a 3-man front. They're playing kind of a 3-4 defense.
Hartman out of the shotgun, looks to throw.
There you go.
And the pass is complete on the far side of the field.
I believe that's their first completion, isn't it?
B.J. Wilson makes the first catch of the night for Southlake.
Right at the sticks.
Sam Hartman has come in reserve this year. He's got a passing touchdown to his credit.
We know for the first time he had some time to throw the ball. Davidson's been some pressure. All right, 1st and goal from about the 19-yard line. They're 2-by-2 split here.
When you talk about a first completion, it's been a while since Southlake's had a first down as Washington is tied up, again gang tackled.
Number 30.
Davidson Day doing such a good job, as you said, Coach, flowing as the tackle is made by Chase Monroe.
He came on an inside stunt. We call that a twist mobile stunt. He came around his 3 technique, wasn't picked up, and made a good stunt of reverting back and making that tackle.
So loss of a yard for Washington. 2nd down and almost 11 to go.
Reverse. Reverse.
Here comes the reverse and a chance as Will Eason tries to cut it up the field, but
Davidson Day's doing a really good job of playing their responsibilities. You know, you run a reverse, you're looking for people to overreact. They had that set up, but there was nothing there. I thought he made a good move by putting his foot in the ground, going north and south. Watch him put his foot right in the ground and turn up. I thought maybe he could get that seam, but did a good job of making the play. Third and 16.
Once again, Chase Monroe in on the tackle for Davidson Day as Coach McLaughlin looks on third down, and his freshman forced to throw again. It's tipped. That pass incomplete will bring up fourth down.
Yeah, that was tipped by number 54 out there. Garrett Grill got his hand up, knocked the ball down. Let's check the replay here. I think he got his hand on the ball going vertical. You teach players when he goes up, go vertical, and he got his hand right on throwing. Good job. That's better than pass defense, knocking the ball down.
It's fourth down and 16 to go.
Yep.
Looks like Hartman's going to work out of the shotgun on fourth down.
Like they're bringing the linebackers, dropping back in coverage, so they're dropping about 8 back. Just going to throw it up there and see if he can make a play out of bounds.
And that one just a little too long for Will Eason. Southlake Christian will turn it over on downs. Davidson Day will take it back over. 7:33 to go here in the third quarter. Southlake Christian has thus far struggled to get any offensive momentum, but they only trail by 2 scores.
You know, Paul, I'm looking over Davidson Day scores this year, and they gave up very few points, which I kind of was interested to see why. Now I understand. They're very solid in their techniques. They play their responsibilities. They don't gamble. They're athletic. They move well, and they're very good tacklers. So that tells you a little bit why maybe they've held a lot of teams in check.
First and 10. DeGioia completes it. Khalil Moore bounces away. Tries to find some room to run. And now he's in trouble on the far side of the field. It goes a long way to pick up a yard.
Coach, I want to tell you what was really impressive right there. Number 52, Seth Nernest, was on the side and missed the tackle over here on this side. He made the tackle completely on the other side. Watch him. Number 52. He comes all the way across the field and goes vertical to make the tackle. That is hustle. That's what you love to see in young football players. Hustle. He never gave up on the play.
Nernest, the senior defensive end.
You know, remember, Coach, Paul, excuse me, before the game, I talked a little bit. I think you're seeing 2 really good defenses. And I think they're taking away the offensive game plans. So Davidson Day's in what we call a little twin stack out here now. It looks like Southlake's going to kind of try to play in zone. You got a motion man going across. Yep.
Another whistle.
Got a little movement by Davidson Day. Make the right tackle move real quick.
Legal procedure, a 5-yard penalty, or repeat second down, rather. Second down and 14 coming up for Davidson Day.
Here's something to think about. When you got the athletic front line that you got from Southlake, you can do a lot of gambling on the perimeter. And those 4 guys are kind of holding down the run. Davidson Day is not a big run team anyways, but they can really gamble on the backside. So they're doing a good job shutting down the passing game here.
DeGioia out of the shotgun.
Watch the screen out in the flat. There it is again.
And it's McGahan.
Great job. You know, they're spying that now. That's number 15 again, of course. Did a good job. Brzezinski, he spied that. You know, probably Coach McLaughlin, because they got beat a couple times on screen, put a spy on that. And probably either number 30, Jack Forden, or Brzezinski, he's spying that screen action. Third and about 11.
Look at H. Strahan, who started the game off with a kickoff return for a score for Davidson Day. Third down and 11.
Southlake's absent playing combo defense. They're playing man on one side and zone. Good job right there.
Strahan.
Great job. Look at the gang tackling. Look at the 8 shirts around the ball. Really getting to the football. You know, that whole objective of that play is get the ball to somebody, pick up a couple blockers, pick a picket fence, and let them use their speed, but they're not letting the receivers get started, and that's a good job. Really by both sides. Both of them are playing really good team defense. Forced them into a punt.
Seen a lot of fourth downs, and as you mentioned earlier, Coach, these teams haven't punted a lot of the year, but in this one, it's been a battle.
I'll bet you this is the most either of these teams have punted all year long.
Fourth down and 13. Davidson Day will punt the football.
What do you think?
Well, he'll get it off end over end. Takes a hop at the 45-yard line.
Get away from it.
And he stopped down at the 47-yard line. We see a flag come in.
Sometimes they get ambitious. That ball will take some wacky bounces, particularly now when the ground's hard. That ball will go each way. You got to get away from the ball. Don't let it hit you.
Spotted at the 47-yard line. We have a penalty marker at midfield.
I didn't see what the penalty was for. It was illegal block. You hate to see illegal block on a non-return. Yep, they're pushing it back.
It is going against Southlake Christian, of course.
10-yard penalty from the end of the kick.
Southlake's got to get some rhythm to their offense. They got to get back to what they do best, their personality, believe in what they do, get a little energy. They can get back in this game if they can get a score on the board. 4:51 in the third quarter left. Got a quarter and a half to go. Ten-yard penalty.
Take it down to the 37-yard line. Crew taking a moment here to get down the sideline on the far side to get the stick set up.
Front line of Davidson Day doing a nice job keeping things in check.
1st and 10. Hartman looks to throw. Again, it's tipped at the line, and Eric Gallman was the intended receiver. Can't even really say it was tipped at the line. It was tipped right at the quarterback's hand.
You know, Hartman, he's got a little bit of a sidearm motion, so I think that makes it difficult for that ball's coming out. He threw the ball on the ground.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage by
That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Southlake Christian. Both teams average over 30 points per game this year. The defenses give up about 10. Washington hit hard.
Number 53 was in on a tackle. Thaddeus Friedline. Number 58, Chase Monroe.
Chase Monroe in on it, I think, for Davidson Day. Brings up 3rd down and 8. Sam Hartman puts it up. And it's picked off at the 35-yard line. The pass intended for Will Eason. Is that the 4th interception of the night? I believe it is, as Jacob Robinson comes down with his 3rd.
You know, that was a great play by Jacob. He was on the outside receiver. I thought the ball was a nice throw, but he came back underneath and undercut the throw. That really wasn't his coverage responsibility, but he came back from the backside. Did a nice job of taking the ball on a high point. He undercut the route.
Jacob Robinson had 3 interceptions coming into the game tonight. He's got 3 in this championship.
Doubled up. Took him 11 games to get 3 and wanted to get 3 more.
1st and 10 for Davidson Day. Hand off.
Number 9, Connor Yang. Number 9, Connor Yang made that play. Yep.
So Gahan picks up a yard on the play. Connor Yang, just a freshman for Southlake Christian.
Always nice to hear that if you're a coach.
See, Bashinsky has shifted to the left side of the line for Southlake Christian, and Yang, the freshman, the end on the near side.
Got man coverage up top.
DeJoya overthrows his intended receiver.
They ran a 3-by-1 set that time, Paul, and they tried to fake that little quick tunnel screen and throw backside and man coverage, but great coverage up there. He was right in his hip pocket the whole way, and DeJoya did a nice job of laying it out there where only his receiver could get it.
Jacob Nelson was the intended receiver. Will Eason doing a good job defensively for Southlake Christian.
3rd and 9. Let's see if they go back to that tight end. That tight end throw we made one time. I don't see him in there right now. They got that favorably last time. They do have a wing back in the game. Let's see what they do with him.
3 wide, DeJoya.
There he is.
And it was tipped around as Strahan was the intended receiver, couldn't come down with the football.
Exactly what they were trying to do, hit that little wing back on a little shallow cross. With great coverage. 4th down again.
With a deflected pass.
It's become a defensive standoff here.
Well, technically, I guess you'd say Strahan with the deflected pass as it was thrown out of his reach. Fording almost came down with a tip.
You know, Paul, somebody from Southlake has got to make a play. Somebody's got to return a punt, cause a fumble, make an interception, break something loose to get them back in the game. They need a little excitement on that sideline. There's a huge crowd over there. They got to get their look out. Something like that, a block punt.
4th and 9.
Yeah.
Ball died down there at the 41-yard line.
You know, somebody's got to come up. Somebody's got to make a big play, a playmaker. Somebody's got to get that crowd excited over there.
Well, they went for the block here.
Coming hard right through the gaps. 15 and 30. 2 middle linebackers.
Nelson just barely got the kick off.
Boy, tell you what, the offensive coaches ought to feel good every drive starting here around the 35, 40-yard line. Come up with a whole new set of plays when you're out here now. You don't have to be so conservative. It's like Southlake's out there counting personnel. They might have too many people on the field. I don't know. Let's see. Now they're going to full help. They got too many people on the field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Boy, I'm all about counting. Got to count.
So 5-yard penalty against Southlake Christian will push him back 5 yards. Well, we've got a second. We'll remind you there's a great opportunity for high school seniors in North Carolina excelling in varsity sports, their academics, in their community. Time Warner Cable is recognizing a scholar athlete every week. Now, the nomination should come from counselors, teachers, or coaches.
Paul, that was a direct snap, kind of almost a wildcat right to Washington, using a full house backfield, but didn't get much yardage out of it.
Direct snap to number 5, Robert Washington.
So now they got a 2nd and 15.
No gain.
You know, every time Southlake kind of comes out, they have a different mode of operation of the way they try to attack. Now they're in a full house backfield. So they've got, this allows Davidson Day to put almost 11 in the box.
Hardman out of the shotgun, 2nd and 15. Wow, make it 2nd and 17, 3rd and 18 rather, coming up for Southlake Christian.
You know, I like to see them just run a classical sweep with Washington. Get a couple of guards pulling, get the fullback in front of them, get a good block from the tight end, use Nash. Just like to see him get him in the edge a little bit, see if he can turn it up.
Zach Dudan is back in the game, a quarterback for Southlake.
You got a player like Nash, you got a player like Brzezinski, who are good blockers, aggressive kids. If you can get somebody to spring them loose.
Dudan gets away from one, and he's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, so he picks up a few yards, but again, 4th down looming for Southlake.
Kind of ran for his life. He never even got the ball in his hands, and people were in his face. You know, sometimes, Paul, being quick like the defensive line from Davidson is a benefit, because Southlake got some big young people and they're good players, but they kind of be trying to get around them a little bit. See what happens on this punt here.
Solinsky from his 30-yard line gets off a pretty decent punt, a fair catch called for.
Well, he can't do that.
And Khalil
That's a penalty. Can't call fair catch
with the football.
Can't call fair catch and run with it. It's illegal.
Number 21, Khalil Moore, fills the punt.
So the ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line.
Patriots ball, 1st and 10.
Fair catch, arm up, can't run with it.
Davidson Day will take over from the 24-yard line. Minute 17 left to go in the 3rd quarter. A short offensive series for Southlake Christian, putting a lot of pressure on their own defense. But so far they've been up to the task. You take away the kickoff return for the score, which is the very first play of the game, Coach, and it's a 7-0 ball game. As it is, it's still just a 2-score deficit for Southlake Christian.
Joy was under center that time. He has not been under center much. He usually takes it from the gun. Got a little run.
4 on first down, sets up 2nd and 6.
Picks up 4 yards on first down. 2nd and 6 coming up for Davidson Day.
They got people standing up on the defensive front there. Get a little quick pass out there and see. Good run.
Jacob Robinson with the catch. Gets out to the 35.
Pass complete to number 11, Jacob
Picked up first down maybe. A little short.
Robinson steps out
short.
of bounds.
So it looks like based on where he stepped out of bounds,
2 yards
we'll spot it closer to the 33 or the 34-yard line.
He's spotted at the 34-yard line. Sets up 3rd and 1 for the Patriots.
Third down for Davidson Day. Jacob Nelson is wide on the top of your screen. Double stack here on the near side. And Jacob Robinson once again with the catch. Picks up the first down.
You know, that's kind of a go-to first run. A lot of people run that play as the first, gets 5 or 6 yards out of it. Kind of a go-to play.
First down, Patriots.
63 just kind of limped off the field. Dustin Tyler, one of their linemen, they're working on him on the sideline there. Sometimes those offensive linemen don't get named enough. They're the ones in the trenches. You can play in there, you got a chance.
1st and 10 for the Patriots.
Now they fake the stop and go.
Puts it up.
Good pick.
And it's out of bounds, incomplete.
That little hitch and go. They faked a little hitch screen and then released the second receiver long really into teeth of defense.
Number 21, Khalil Moore, is overthrown. Incomplete pass. That's a 2nd and 10.
30 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Davidson Day can help themselves quite a bit just by picking up first downs on this drive. Joy out of the shotgun. Steps up. And he's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, number 30 got him again. Jack Forden. Good job running him down. Puts him in about a 4th and about 7. Got flushed out of the pocket.
DeJoya scrambles for a gain of 1.
30's tracking him. I think he's sitting there. He's trying to spine the situation. That's the end of the quarter.
Ball spotted at the 39-yard line.
So Forty makes a play, forces 3rd down for Davidson Day.
The 4th quarter.
The Patriots lead the Eagles 14-0 at the end of 3. We'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this.